Thank you, everyone. James O. Hill, PhD, is the founding executive director of the Wellness Center at the Anschutz campus. He co-authored the book State of Slim. That's where I'm supposed to hold up the book. Dr. Hill was recently also inducted into the Institute of Medicine. From his years of research and study into how people successfully maintain weight loss, Dr. Hill has created a program that is simple, easy to use, and really works. My own experience with State of Slim can be summed up in 3 words: resignation, motivation, and elation. Before State of Slim, I was resigned to adding a pound here and there, and the idea that, well, this is just going to be the way that I feel the rest of my life. Motivation came in the person of my partner, Brian, who's lost 30 pounds, who came home last May and said, some of my friends at the hospital are losing weight by following this program, and we can too. State of Slim was the motivation. Now, 15 pounds lighter, 9 months later, I'm experiencing the elation of having done it. After Dr. Hill's presentation, come and join us up here in front. We have some State of Slim devotees who would be happy to share our experiences with you. Please help me welcome James O. Hill.
Thanks, Mark. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm the executive director of the Anschutz Health and Wellness Center, and if you haven't been out to the Anschutz Health and Wellness Center, please come out and see us. We change lives. I'm going to tell you one way we're changing lives today, but there are lots of others, so please come visit us. Before we get started, I know the question on everybody's mind is, can I have the carrot cake? The answer is yes, as long as you exercise today. It's a trade-off, okay? So I want to tell you about the work we've been doing with weight loss and weight loss maintenance. Last August, I co-authored a book with my colleague, Dr. Holly Wyatt. I don't have to tell you, it's pretty obvious that Holly is the brains and I'm the pretty face used to sell the books. Holly is an endocrinologist and is the most brilliant weight loss doc in the country, and she is innovating like crazy. So there we go. I think, yeah. So when it comes to success in weight loss, we're very successful. When it comes to keeping weight off, we're very unsuccessful. So here's a typical study where they did all different kinds of diets, and you can see 6 months everybody was doing well, and guess what? It didn't matter what kind of diet you're on, high fat, low fat, whatever. What mattered is if you stuck with it. The other thing you can notice, despite how people lost weight, most everybody regained it. Now, this study was done at Harvard. They can't even keep weight off at Harvard. So what chance do we have out here in the West? Well, I think we've made some progress here. So why is it hard to keep weight off? Put simply, you're fighting your biology and your environment. As you lose weight, your body compensates. It's as if your body wants to stay at this higher level. So your metabolic rate goes down, you get hungrier. So there are true biological drives to regain the weight. You also have to go back out in this environment where there's food everywhere and where you never have to be physically active. So what our goal is to get you to engage in behavior that push back against this strong biology and strong environment. Sometimes I say is that what we tell people, if you want to lose weight, quit eating everything you like and go out and do some sort of exercise that you hate. And we wonder why people aren't just lining up to say, yeah, I want to do that. I love the inspirational message because it's not about deprivation. We've been selling deprivation, and they're not buying it. We've got to give people a different way of doing it. So our challenge is getting people to engage in a behavior that pushes back against the strong biological pressure and the strong environmental pressure. Now, we wrote State of Slim. You know, we ask ourselves, does the world really need another diet book? I mean, come on, there are so many out there. But if any of these worked, why would we need so many? So part of what we wanted to do is to clarify what we know about weight loss and weight loss management. And I think there are a lot of misperceptions in the public. First of all, we learned to publish a diet book, you don't have to have any research behind it. You don't have to have any data. It doesn't have to work. Just you can go out and throw out any idea, and sometimes you can do really well. In fact, it may be better if you don't have data, some of the ideas they're approaching. But we have researched this for 30 years. We've worked with patients for 30 years. We've done our own research. We know research in the field, so we felt like we could clarify some things. We also wanted to mention some things that we think are missing, and I'm going to talk about that. And we wanted to develop a program that's associated with the new Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. So for those reasons, we did that. Another reason that's not up here is every year, Colorado comes out as the leanest state with adults. We're not the leanest in kids. And so I would get media calls every year, and I'd have to make up some reason every year about why we were the leanest, because I had no idea. So Holly and I finally said, well, let's delve into that. And so we did. And it turns out the reason that Colorado is lean is a lot of the population are doing the exact right things to keep weight off. So the Colorado connection here, and that's why we titled it The State of Slim. Colorado is the state of slim, but you can create a state of slim anywhere you are. One of the things that I've learned throughout my career is I've followed a group of people who have succeeded at long-term weight loss. We're following 10,000 people who are keeping off an average of 70 pounds for about 7 years. Okay, these are people that are successful. It seemed, pretty reasonable to me. Let's look around and see if anybody's succeeding. Let's learn from the ones that succeed. What we learned from these people is that there was no one way to lose weight. They lost weight in every way you can imagine. Every kind of diet, the beer diet, this diet, that diet. No similarity. Where we saw similarity is how they were keeping it off. They were doing several things in common to keep it off. And the number one, and I'm going to hit this over and over, is physical activity. Physical activity is absolutely essential to keep it off. You don't have to be physically active to lose weight if you only want to lose it temporarily. You can lose weight without physical activity. You can't keep it off without physical activity. And we tell people if you aren't prepared to make physical activity a part of your life every day, don't bother losing weight because you aren't going to keep it off. But we learned a lot from these folks. Now, let me tell you what the State of Slim is the title of the book. The diet itself is called the Colorado Diet. We're trying to make this thing very Colorado-centric. And we deliver this in 3 phases. Phase 1 is pretty restrictive. Those people who have done phase 1, you're eating a lot of lean meat, lean proteins, and veggies. Then it gets more lax as you go forward, because here's the idea. I told you how important physical activity is. Well, we know now why that's the case. Physical activity, put simply, keeps your metabolism functioning. Okay, so human bodies right out of the factory, their metabolism works really, really well. And as long as you keep moving, it continues to work pretty well. When you stop moving, you encounter something we call metabolic inflexibility. It's a scientific term, but what it essentially says is your body's not as good at switching from different fuels, fat and carbohydrate. So at the end of the day, if you're metabolically inflexible, you tend to store a little bit more fat, then burn a little bit more fat. The way you get metabolically inflexible is to stop moving. The way you correct that is to start moving. You can lose weight, but losing weight alone doesn't make you metabolically flexible. So we start people moving from day 1, and we give them a pretty strict diet in phase 1, so the weight comes off. Everybody loses weight in phase 1. Then as you get more active and as your metabolism is getting back to normal, we're not talking about super metabolism, we're talking about correcting a bad metabolism. As you start moving, your metabolism gets back to normal, you add in other foods. So on phase 2, you can add more variety of foods, and on phase 3, you add even more. On most diets, what you're looking forward to is a lifetime of restriction, okay? We're the opposite. We get you to the point at the end of phase 3, you should be eating very similarly to what your friends are eating, with the exception of you're eating smarter. You've learned to eat smarter. And you can incorporate a cheesecake or a carrot cake every now and then, but you understand it and you put it in the context of a whole lifestyle. So we get people to a lifestyle that you can live forever. And so phase 3 of the Colorado diet is what everybody in this room should be following, whether or not you need to lose weight or not. It's the way you want to live your life. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to go to what else we learned. So we have always been pretty good at giving people advice for diet and physical activity. And so typically we would go out and we would have people come into our programs, and we would give them a great diet, and we would give them a great physical activity program, and they would go out and they'd be real successful in the beginning. Then they would fall off the wagon. Somebody said this is the resolution breaking period. So we're really good at short-term behavior change. Our challenge is long-term behavior change. And so the question we ask ourselves is, well, are we telling people the wrong things? And we don't think we are. We think we're giving people great advice on what to do. But what we've learned is there's something missing, and the something missing is the why and how. And that's one of the things that sets this program apart from any other diet plan. We don't just give you the what to do. We work on the why and the how. So here's what we've been doing in the past. We basically have concentrated on telling people to eat healthier and telling people to move more. Exactly the right what, but we've missed the how and the why. So here's the way we think about it now. The behavior is the what. We've always had that pretty good. The motivation is the why, and the mindset is the how. So State of Slim addresses what, why, and how. And what we've understood is all that's important. So what was missing is the up here part of it. We were very good at giving people the what to do. We didn't really give them help in doing it. So the why is really the motivation, okay? Motivation is important because we're asking you to change some very basic behaviors. We're asking you to change what you eat, change how you move, to essentially change your whole lifestyle. And what we've learned is to be able to do that and sustain it. This is a forever. This is not just a short term. To do that forever, you have to really understand why you want to do that. Now you say, well, of course I know why I want to do that. No, it's just the opposite. If we ask people why they want to lose weight, their first answer is rarely the real reason. So Holly does an exercise she calls peeling the onion. So she says, why do you want to lose weight? Well, my daughter's wedding's coming up. I want to look good at the wedding. Why? And you keep asking why. And what you get is a deep internal motivation for why you want to do that. So why is that important? It's important because success in behavior change really is the key is relating those new behaviors to what's important to you in life. And so we get at what we call your purpose. We try to work with you to say, what is it deep down that's really important in your life? It might be being a better parent, or it might be being president of the Rotary Club. Whatever your purpose in life is, how does these new behaviors affect you? And we find that's pretty powerful for motivation over time. So the real key is connecting your purpose with your new behaviors. And what this is going to do is keep you on track after the newness of the diet program works out. It's never a problem early on. People will stand on their head and do anything to lose weight. But now you're keeping it up. Now it's long term. And the motivation, the why, is so important. And we do a lot of work with helping people understand what their why is and how their inner purpose fuels their wellness. The mindset is the how. And I don't have a lot of time to go into this in a lot of detail, but it involves a lot of things. Positivity. I kid you not. We have people who come into our programs and they say, okay, I want to join your program, but I know it's not going to work. I've tried before and failed. I'm going to hate your diet. I don't like to exercise. What are you going to do for me? You know, there's not much you can do because it's self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think you're going to fail, you're going to fail. Now, what we found is you can actually teach people to be positive. There are exercise and homework we can have people do to change their positivity. As scientists, we're taught, I'll believe it if I see it. But we've now opened our eyes to the fact the opposite works as well. If I believe it, I'll see it. And part of the mindset, and we call it the Colorado mindset, is positivity. Resilience is critical. Resilience is really managing stress. We're never going to get rid of stress, and in fact, that isn't the goal of getting rid of stress. It's how you manage it. The analogy is everybody goes into the swamp every now and then. It's how quickly you come out. And so teaching people how to manage resiliency. You're probably sitting there saying, what does any of this have to do with weight loss? I will tell you, it's the difference between being able to adhere long-term to a behavior and not. Sleep is critical. We have an epidemic of sleep disorders in this country. So like over half the population doesn't get enough sleep or doesn't get very good sleep. And I will tell you, if you're not sleeping well, you're not managing stress well, you're not adhering to healthy behaviors well. A link now showing poor sleep is associated with a poor diet. So sleep is critical here. Another one that we've been working on is gratitude, and we do a process we call Pay It Forward. Right from the beginning, we're telling people in our programs, you're going to lose weight, but part of your responsibility as you're losing weight, now you got to commit to helping others. You got to commit to paying it forward. Well, that helps both for helping other people, but it also helps the person by helping others. It keeps you more accountable and more on track. Accountability, we've had a lot of people come in and say, I'm going to lose weight, but I kind of, I'm a big deal in this company, and I really don't want people to know I'm losing weight. And we went along with that for a while, and then we realized that, no, that's not it. If you're serious about this, you put it out there. You put it out, you tell your friends, you tell your coworkers, you stick it out there and say, here is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. That's a heck of accountability when you put it right out there. We do a lot on social media now, and we have people post their goals, and all their Facebook friends and so forth can see their goals. And what we find is an incredible amount of support in all that. Willpower. We used to say, well, the reason people are overweight is you just don't have willpower. You just can't push back from the table. Well, I just told you, biology plays a huge role, but willpower is important. And we see willpower a little bit as a muscle, okay? Here's the analogy. Your willpower, you use it like a muscle. You use it a lot, it gets tired. And here's the example. You get up first thing in the morning, boy, you're righteous. You're ready to go. Healthy breakfast, workout, you're ready to go. Then you go to work, and your boss yells at you, and you have problems with your coworker, and your spouse is all upset about something. And at the end of the day, you're just fried. You just have no willpower left. And you were going to go home and cook a healthy dinner, and you say, to hell with it. I'm going to order a pizza. It's easier. So how do you deal with that? Well, like a muscle, there are techniques that we can strengthen willpower. But one of the other ways that you lessen the use of willpower is to do things automatically. Most of our behaviors are automatic. So you drive home from work, you get in the driveway perfectly safe, you don't have a clue, you don't even remember the drive home because our behaviors are on automatic. So we help people change their behaviors to make the new healthy behavior more automatic. People have had years and years and years of developing automatic behaviors that support the unhealthy state. What we have to do is get rid of those behaviors, and we have to substitute a new group of automatic behaviors, and it takes a while to do that. You don't do that in a week or 2 weeks or a month. It takes some time. And dealing with the environment, we'll talk about in a second. Holly's big thing on transforming yourself is to get uncomfortable. Change does not happen in your comfort zone. So a lot of what we do is geared toward making people get uncomfortable. She has this one, it's a cruel activity she does with some of her groups, is she makes them for a whole week carry around a bag of candy. Have to take it everywhere you go. And it's amazing how uncomfortable people get doing that. Most people get uncomfortable. One of her people said she ate it all on the way home, so it was no problem for her, but people handle that in different ways. So all of this is the why. What does it have to do with weight loss? It gets you in a mental frame of mind to be able to make and sustain these changes. So we really do talk about weight loss being body, mind, and spirit. That's the what, how, and the why. And that's important. And across that, we do environments, and we do healthy routines and rituals. So, example of the environment. If you know that you're going to snack at home in the evening, it's quite possible that you're going to snack on something in your cupboard. You might get in the car and go out and get some, but it's much more likely you're going to go to the cupboard. So if you know this and plan ahead, you want to make sure there are things in the cupboard that meet your need and also meet your healthy plan. That's your physical environment. The social environment are the people you hang out with. So if you're a Rotarian here and hang out with all the other Rotary members, you're influenced by their behavior. People that hang out together tend to behave the same way. And so we work on social environments. We tell people to find a good social environment. Give you one example, the guy who gained 50 pounds said every night I went out with my buddies and we had beer and pizza. I went off and lost 50 pounds. I knew if I came back into that group, I wasn't going to be able to just have one beer and one pizza. So he actually found a different social group. I think in his case it was a volleyball league. So you have to look at, are you hanging around with people that are supporting your good behaviors? Now, it's tough when it's your family members that do that. You can't give up your family, and that's a tougher situation, but we do deal with that as well. So here's what I talk about, some automatic behaviors. So again, Holly's thing is chips. Chips are her downfall. And so she says, my habit is I never go down the chip aisle. It takes less willpower not to go down than to go down and not put all those chips in your bag. Things like we had a CEO over in Boulder of a startup. We were trying to get this guy to eat breakfast, and we just couldn't figure out anything that worked. He came in one day, and he said, Starbucks serves oatmeal. I've got it. Everywhere I go, there's a Starbucks. So I'll just go and get oatmeal every morning. Boom. Problem solved, automatic. He didn't have to think about breakfast. So what we work with people on is really getting these habits, routines, and rituals down. The difference between a routine and a ritual is that rituals are routine with meaning. Great example there is we had one of our participants, she and her mom met at Starbucks every Thursday for a mother-daughter time, and, very important, they never would have missed it. Now they started walking during that time. So they never missed the walking, not because of the walking, because it was a ritual. It was associated with something that was already important to them. One of the other things we've learned is I used to be out there saying the way to lose weight is slow, gradual weight loss. I've changed my mind totally. I think we can raise the bar on amount of weight loss. We partnered with a reality show last year, ABC's Extreme Weight Loss. Biggest Loser is the most popular one, and that's where it's a competition. Somebody gets voted off the island. Extreme weight loss is different because every person goes through a one-year transformation. They spend the first 90 days at the Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. They do a lot of exercise. They learn the mental part of it. They learn the diet part of it. And over 1 year, they achieve amazing results. There were 17 contestants last year. This is the before and after, 1 year later. And notice not just the weights, the facial expressions. These people were the most miserable people when they came in, and they looked like movie stars going out. The state of the art right now in community weight loss programs is about 5% weight loss. We get very excited if we produce 5% weight loss. The average weight loss of these people in 1 year, 47%. They lost half their body weight. And I will tell you, every one of them will tell you that weight loss was not the best thing they got out of the 1 year. It's what they thought they wanted, but they got a complete transformation because they dealt with body, mind, and spirit. And we've learned a lot from this television show. State of Slim, right now, this is sort of where we are compared to most community programs. Our initial weight loss is much better. We're just starting to collect our 1 year data. This program's been going for about a year. We offer it, you can get the book and follow it, but we offer it in groups. These are results of our groups, and so we will be able to track, and the hope is that we're going to change the course of that weight regain and show that people not only can lose weight, but they can keep it off. So what's next? We think this is a 16-week program. We're working on Chapter 2 because people that come through State of Slim say, this is great, I got it, but I'd still like a little bit more support. So we're working on the next chapter of this. We don't know how long. We're working on delivering it. We're delivering it virtually. We're delivering it via the internet, conference calls. We're doing a lot of research on how we can scale this program. We got a program going on right now where people came to our center for 1 week, and then they engaged in a virtual program for 1 year, and we're in the middle of that, and we collect data on all this, so we will report our data, good, bad, or ugly. So how to engage? Well, you can buy the book and do it, but we found that our classes, we do group classes of usually 15 or 20 people. We actually think it's the best way to do it because these classes bond with each other. Literally, you begin to make friends for life, and the support you get from these classes is incredible. We're offering those groups right now through the Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. I have 2 colleagues, Lisa Bailey and Lindsay Johnson, that are out promoting this program in the work site. So if any of you have businesses where you would like to explore this, we will actually come in and do these groups at your business. And there are interesting ways to get your employees engaged. We're working out a licensing program where we have such demand for these classes all over that we're doing a train the train. We're going to certify people to teach the groups. Then we're going to license the program all over. And we have literally requests from states all over who want to do this. So we feel like we have a program which is best in class. It's going to get better, but we're looking to get it out there and scale it. This is our team at the Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. Please come and see us if you want to learn more. I think this would be a fantastic program for Rotary clubs because I suspect you all support each other. And all of you should be on phase 3, even if you don't need to lose weight. But I suspect it would be a great support group where you could support your members that are actually going through the program. So we could potentially promote this within your Rotary club and Rotary clubs all over because it really works when you have a community that's supporting you. What we get people to the point of where you're living a reasonably healthy and happy. I love the inspiration. It's not just health, it's health and happiness. And what we found is that people that have been through this program are happy with their weight loss, but they're even happier about their whole approach to life has changed. So please come see us, and thank you very much for your attention.
We have some time for questions. I wanted to just say thanks to Jim. I've been following him ever since I got to Colorado about 28 years ago, and I think you came here just a little 22 years ago. So it's been wonderful to see the evolution of his thinking, and this is very, very exciting. First question is right here. Craig?
Doc, great presentation. Thanks for being here today. I'm a big fan of the show Extreme Weight Loss, and I noticed at the bottom it always said Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. How did that come to be? And will it, obviously it's very popular, will it continue?
Yes.
And I got a second part of that question. I'm on the wine diet lately, and I want to know how much effect that'll have on me.
So to your second question, Brian, what phase can you not have alcohol on? Phase 1. Other 2 phases, it's okay. So you can be on the wine diet. So it was really quite an interesting story. I get a call out of the blue from a guy that said, I'm a television producer. Can I come see your center? Well, it turns out this guy is from Colorado, and his mother had found us and told him, you got to come and see this center. So he came, and I toured him around, because I tour anybody around, so that's great. And at the end, he said, oh, my God, I want to film our show here. And we were thinking, a reality show? We're a university. We're researchers. We're above all that TV stuff. And we agonized over whether or not to do this. Best decision we ever made. So last year was the first year. It was season 4. First 3 seasons filmed in California. Last year filmed at our place. The current year, they're about 8 or 9 months into it. That'll start airing this summer. And they just found out they got another year picked up. So the way TV shows work, it's a little at a time. So what we know is there will be another one. This season will air, then there will be one more, and that's all we know for sure.
Cost. What's the cost of the group program? And then how often do they start? I'm ready.
We're starting those routinely, so we start 3 or 4 classes at once. So every few weeks we'll start new classes. They are 16-week classes. And at our place, you get a class, plus you then go and do exercise after the class. The cost, $800 for 16 weeks. You're in the same group, same instructor throughout. And you can go on our website, which is anschutzwellness.com, and we're starting those groups every few weeks. We start new groups.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Is your PowerPoint available?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy to share it. And please do come out and see the center. Weight loss programs are just some of the programs we have. We have a lot of other programs that we would love to show you, and I'd be happy to give any of you a tour if you come out and just want to see the place.
I have one question for you, Jim. I have a friend who has tried weight loss over and over and over again, and I think he's at that stage where he's just convinced nothing will work. What's the key to get someone to finally take the action to go to a program like this?
That's actually a fantastic question, and I should have addressed that a little bit more. The State of Slim is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best program out there, but it only works in people that are actually ready and motivated to change. Now, we actually like to get people who have tried other things, because the tendency is if you want to lose weight, you go out and try the easy stuff. And so we like to get people that have done that because they finally get it. The easy stuff doesn't work. This is hard. Anybody who tells you that weight loss is easy, run the other way. Anybody that tells you you don't have to exercise to keep weight off, run the other way. This is hard. It's hard stuff. It's probably hard stuff forever. And we tell people, tough. That's the way it is. It may not be fair. This is what it's going to take to be successful. But what I'm so happy about is people get to the point of they're happy with it. It is back to happiness. We've seen people that have lost weight and kept it off, and they're miserable. That's not success. Success is being at a weight you can live with, a lifestyle that you're happy with. If you're motivated to change, this is a good program for you. If you come in and say, I'm not sure any of this is going to work, what are you going to do for me? We're probably not going to be able to do anything for you. So we concentrate much more on taking people who are ready than working with people who aren't.
Great. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks.
Jim, I've got just a couple of things for you here as well. One is a baseball from our Branch Rickey Award dinner, which you heard about earlier today, commemorating someone who's active in the community as well as a Major League Baseball player. In addition, I think you'll appreciate this, we're making a gift in your honor from our foundation to End Polio Now, which is Rotary's large worldwide global effort to end polio. And this gift, this will be something you can wear, but this gift will be matched 2-to-1 by a gift from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to inoculate 150 kids. So thank you again for being here.